Chapter 1.2, Day 2, Example number 4, Combination of Transformation. You can write a function that represents a series of transformations on the graph of another function by applying the transformations one at a time in the stated form. Let's look at the example here. Let the graph of g would be a vertical shrink by a factor of 1 over 4. So our first step is to do the vertical shrink by the factor of 1 over 4 and followed by a translation 3 units up of the graph of fx equals absolute value x. So write a rule for g. Step number 1, as I said, is vertical shrink by factor of 1 over 4. So we're going to multiply 1 over 4 times fx, and fx we have is this absolute value x, so 1 over 4 absolute value x. Let's name this function as hx. Now step number 2 is to find or write a function gx. The function gx is a translation of the function hx by 3 units up. So the hx is 1 over 4 absolute value x. Since it's a translation 3 units up, then we're going to add 3 to the function. So this is going to be a complete function which involves more than one translation. So we're going to do step by step and get to the answer. Now please pause this video and try the U-try problems on the worksheet, and we will discuss it later. Now let's just do the U-try problem here on the bottom section. Number 7. fx equals absolute value x. Translate 6 units down. So first we're going to do is translate 6 units down, so minus 6 outside. And then we are going to reflect the graph over the x-axis. So reflection means that you multiply the graph, the function, by -1. So distribute the -1 inside. Your final answer for the function is negative absolute value x plus 6. For number 8, fx equals absolute value x. Translate 4 units to the right. So my first step is that my original function translate 4 units to the right, so which is inside the x. Now we're going to get the 3 units down. So from here we are going to make this function 3 units down. So my step number 2 was to add -3 on the side. For number 9, translate 8 units up. So my first step is to add 8, and the next step is that you're going to follow this step by 3 units to the left. So my next step would be add the 3, because it's a 3 units left, so it means we're going to add the 3 inside the absolute value function. So it's going to get absolute value function x plus 3 plus 8. Number 10, translate 2 units left and 7 units up. First step is translate to the left, and then the second step is 7 unit up. So my final answer would be absolute value x plus 2 plus 7. Now let's just do number 11, 12, 13 and 14. For number 11, you're going to first do the translation for 2 units down and followed by the vertical stretch. So step number 1 is to move the function 2 units down, so absolute value x minus 2. And then the next one is vertical stretch by 4. So you're going to multiply the 4 with the whole function. So put the function in a bracket and distribute the 4 inside. You're going to get the final answer, gx equals 4 times absolute value x minus 8. Now let's just do number 12 here. So number 12 is fx equals absolute value x. The vertical stretch is by 4. So you're going to, step number 1, multiply 4 times absolute value x. And then you're going to move it 2 units down. So it's going to be -2. So your final answer would be gx equals 4 times absolute value minus 2. Now for number 13 and 14. Number 13, fx equals absolute value x as the parent function. First step you're going to do is translate that 3 units up, so plus 3, and then you're going to get the reflection over the x-axis, which means you multiply the negative with the function, the whole function. So distribute the negative inside, you're going to get negative x minus 3. So that's your final answer, absolute value negative x minus 3. The next is number 14. So you have 3 translations here. Vertical stretch by 3, so you're going to multiply it by 3 in the first step. Translate 2 units to the right, which means that you're going to subtract the 2 inside. The next one is 9 units down, so it means you're going to subtract 9 outside of the function. So this is your final answer of the translation vertical stretch by 3, translation 2 unit to the right and 9 units down.